All right, guys, what I'm going to show you today is how to create what are called virtual world tours. And we're going to do this all on the iPad. And you're going to do this for the book that you are currently reading. What you have to be aware of when you are doing a virtual world tour is you have to be aware of countries or cities or landmarks that are appearing in your book. For example, a city could be Luxembourg, Germany, or you could be talking Chicago, Illinois. Landmarks can be the Grand Canyon or the Empire State Building, US Cellular Field. Locations, maybe a school. These are things that you have to be aware of as you're reading. Because in virtual world tours, whenever you come across a new city, country, state, landmark, or another major event, you are going to stop and you're going to create a video to put into your virtual world tour that's going to summarize what is happening in your story at that time or what is happening at that location or landmark. With that being said, let's get started and show you how you're going to do it. It's a pretty simple and fun process to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Google Earth whenever they mention a new location, because Google Earth is a great way to highlight and find a location and take a cool screenshot. So right now I'm in Germany. So let's say I'm reading a story about the Chicago White Sox. So I know one thing that's going to come up is going to be US Cellular Field. So I start typing in that location and I got lucky. It comes up. So I can simply touch on that and it's going to bring me to that location. So I wait for it to land over here at US Cellular Field in Chicago. And when it gets there, I can do several things. I can go ahead and just touch anywhere on the screen to make that box go away. But now I can zoom and I can check different views. And that's the beauty of Google Earth. So I can zoom in a little bit. I can pan up until I find a view that I'm happy with. This one looks pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of it by hitting the home button and the power button together. If you did it right, you will see that flash. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm going to open up Explain Everything, one of my favorite go-to apps. As you can see, I've been using this quite a bit and practicing this virtual tour. So I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to simply choose on the white background, only because my picture is going to take up the entire background, so the type of background I'm going to choose doesn't matter. I'm going to touch on the plus sign, and I'm going to choose existing photo or video. And when I do that, I'm going to find the video I just screenshot, and there it is. So I'm going to touch it, and now I am here. So now I'm going to simply just check on done. And one of the features of Explain Everything that I really like is they have this feature called the ultimate zoom, which means I can simply use my fingers, my index finger and my thumb, and pinch on the screen and I can zoom in as much as I want. It has an ultimate zoom. And I can move the picture around as well. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger and find something that I'm happy with. This looks pretty good. And once I have my image, I can actually go ahead and I can touch on this eye. It's the inspector tool. And this is an optional thing. It's not necessary. But I'm going to lock my photo in as a background. So I'm going to touch anywhere on the photo. And then I'm going to choose and touch on Set as Background. And when I've done that, if I come back up here and touch the hand, you notice when I go to move the screen, the image no longer moves. So now I've done that. Well, now I have to go ahead and create my video that I'm going to put on top of this that's going to explain what is happening at US Cellular Field. So to do that, I'm going to open up Tellagami. And when I get to Tellagami, I'm going to do a couple of things. I need to choose a background for my avatar. I'm going to create my avatar, and then I'm going to have a background. So for this one, since I'm reading a book about the White Sox, I thought I would have my avatar be talking from the location of where home plate used to be at old US Cellular Field. And I simply found this by just doing a simple Google search right on my iPad, and then I saved the image and I put it in here. To do that, I just have to go to background, and then I can go to library, and I can choose my background from my pictures. I can also use my camera, but you won't need it for this activity. Once I have my background, I'm then going to go ahead and record myself explaining what's happening in the story at this point in time. So I would click on message and I would begin recording. When I'm done recording, stop. I'll listen to what I have to say, and then if I'm happy with it, I can save it right here to my camera roll. Click share, click save. So now that that's done, I have something else to do. now have to open up iMovie, because Tellagami, while it's really cool, every video you create ends with an advertisement for Tellagami. And that gets really annoying, especially if you're putting all these clips together in iMovie, which you're going to be doing. You don't want to watch one clip, see an advertisement, watch another clip, and another advertisement. It becomes very monotonous and very annoying. So, to get rid of it, I'm simply going to click on the plus sign, and I'm going to choose movie. Going to come here to create. I just want the simple version, the one with the girl. Click create. And then here, up here is where you're going to find your video. So I can click on all, and I can find my Tellagami footage. Normally it's going to be the very first one at the top, but I've created multiples of these, so I know where mine is. And here it is. If I wanted to, I can play it from right here to make sure it's the correct one, but I know that it is. So I'm going to touch the drop down arrow, and you can see the advertisement here at the end. We've got to get rid of that. So to get rid of that, I just touch anywhere on the video clip, and you can see it all is highlighted. I simply just touch on the yellow bar and drag it back until I no longer see the advertisement at the top of my screen. You can see in my clip, it looks like I am editing off part of my Tellagami, but I'm really not. So I keep going until at the top it's gone. I know it feels uncomfortable, but trust me, it works. And then once it's done, I let go, and then I can simply just move my clip, and now my advertisement is gone. I want to save this now to my camera roll by just going back, and I have to touch the get out of here button. When I touch that, it's going to ask to save the video, and I can save the video to my camera roll. I usually choose the medium. It's usually the best and the quickest. And once it's been downloaded, I have it. I can delete this project because I don't need it anymore since my video is on my camera roll. Now I have something I have to do. I have to go back to explain everything. And now I am going to touch on the plus sign once again. And I am going to choose existing, video. And I'm going to find my video clip that I edited. And that is right here. So I'm going to, and now it opens. The great thing about this is that I can go ahead and I can make this any size I want. I can pinch it to make it smaller, and I can move it anywhere I want on the screen. If I want to, I can go ahead and set it as a background, but I really won't need to for this. Now, one thing you have to make sure of that you'll have to do is when you're going to record a video inside a Tellagami, you have to make sure your microphone is off. So make sure that your microphone is off. If it looks like this, that's not good. Touch it to turn it off. And then I'm going to simply just press the record button, and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to press the play button. You'll see it in a second. So I'm going to touch up here. I'm going to hit record first and then play. And now I'm recording my Tellagami. Okay? Everything's recording. You can't hear it because of the way I'm screencasting, but trust me, it's working just fine. So once that's done, I'm going to press pause. Okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to touch here to export my video right back to my camera roll. Now, one thing I wanted to show you is just in case your microphone doesn't show up on like mine does down here, what you have to do is come up here to the little wheel and touch it, and then come down to where it says record. I want to touch that button, and then here I want to show the mic mute button. If it's turned off like this, you just need to touch it to turn it back on. And that will take care of everything for you. So once you have that saved into your camera roll, you're going to go ahead and you're going to begin creating your virtual world tour. So to do that, once again, I touch the plus sign, come here to movie, go to create, and I look for my video clip. Here it is. I'm going to drop it, and now I have my video clip. If you make others, all you have to do is go through the same process I showed you, and you're going to simply touch your new video clip and drop it below. You may want to come back and change your transitions to make it look a little bit different, to make it look fancy and special. So to change your transition, just touch on that icon, and then you have all these that you can choose from. Theme, a slide, a wipe, a fade, whatever you want to go with. Remember, if you're reading a story that's taking place in the same location, let's say Chicago, you don't and you shouldn't keep using the same Google screenshot image. Cities are large. Chicago is large. You can find another location or a landmark to zoom in on and take a screenshot and use that as your background and explain everything. So, have fun creating your virtual world tours. Keep track of them in iMovie. Put them all together, and by the time you're done with your book, you're going to have an amazing record of a tour based on your book. Have fun.